Hey everybody, I'm Kelly Ellers.
I'm Jeffrey Lennon.
And this is Volume Up by the Tease. So we've got a celeb wandering around Ulta, I hear. And you might have not run into said celeb, but said end cap, maybe.
Saw some experiential marketing at work. Yeah, so Jennifer Aniston and her brand Lolavi, which we've covered on this podcast because, I mean, Jen Aniston, the hair.
Come on.
You can't. It's irrefutably good. It's like, come on. And this brand, although I've never used the product, I don't know. Have you used Lolavi?
I haven't, but this kind of makes me want to head over there.
I was going to say, so I was in my local Ulta and just so happened to see an enormous end cap and more situation with Lolavi. And this ties in apparently with this promo that she's doing, which is an Ulta salon takeover situation, wherein, she's gone to some Ultas and in person, which could you like, I would not be.
What would you do? Would you just stand in awe or would you play it cool? Like, is that her?
There would be no playing it cool, I think, with her in particular. We talked about like Rihanna doing this at Sephora's.
Yeah.
Similar situation. Like you'd have to collect me off the ground. Seeing the end cap enough was like, oh, there's our friend Jen.
Yeah.
And then like to see her in person, I'd be unwell. Would you be able to handle seeing that level of magnetism?
No, but I think I would probably play it a little cooler than you would, just to be quite honest. But the real thing for our Ulta salon visitors and Ulta beauty visitors is that they will be treated to the full Lolavi experience through September 16th. So I love this activation. And we love the Ulta salon team because they are innovating at every corner, filled with master artists. So head on over, check it out.
Yeah, go to your store.
On our last episode, I talked with Ben Barkworth. Ben is the owner and creative director for Just Be Salon and the founder of Fast Foils. With more than 14 years of experience in providing world-class premium experiences to his clientele, his work is highly sought after and has been seen on high-profile runways, on models at London and New York Fashion Week, as well as on prestigious magazine pages. In 2018, Ben founded Fast Foils, black hair foils that transfer and hold heat more effectively than regular foils, delivering up to 25% faster processing and eliminating the need to use damaging higher levels of developers. This is a good one, a true category innovator. You're going to want to go back and listen. Make sure you subscribe, rate, and review, and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok at Read the Tease, and send in questions to volumeup@thetease.com.
This week, we're talking with Mireya Villarreal and Julie Hightower. Julie Hightower, founding board member of the Daisie Foundation, and Mireya Villarreal, founder of Pink Pewter and the Pink Pewter Foundation, created Beauty with a Purpose, coming together after partnering for many years with their nonprofit organizations, and they wanted to bring it to the beauty industry. Beauty with a Purpose is a one-day industry event and is a movement that is packed with influential beauty industry leaders, artists, and beauty brands, joining together to support and mentor guests at all levels of their career through development, networking, and connecting. The event promises tools, guidance, inspiration, knowledge, and motivation needed to succeed.
All right. So in some other headlines and news, there's just a little teeny tiny little acquisition over from our folks over at Elf Beauty. They are acquiring the TikTok viral brand Natrium for a mere $355 million. Have you seen the brand on the TikTok?
Of course. I mean, who hasn't? And good for them for making use of all of this marketing intel. I mean, the incredible popularity of that brand, like this is a very smart decision from a very savvy team over at Elf.
Doing well today. And what's interesting from the press release is that an LA-based business accelerator called The Center launched Natrium in 2019, brought on Susan Yara as the founder 1 year later. And look at that firebrand. Look at them go.
I mean, it's really incredible. So love to see that things like this sort of develop in real life as we're all coming into contact with this brand. So are other big brands. And yeah, this is a huge move that's likely to have lots of ripple effects. So I'm excited to see what happens as a result, but good on Elf for jumping in on this.
Jumped in, got him.
All right, let's talk about things that are trending on our site. Our editorial team has been hard at work this week uncovering industry news, looking into trends, and diving into brands that you don't know but should. And here are some of our favorite headlines. First up, one of those brands, Nori founder Osahan Ohiaga on reimagining the black hair braiding experience with her plant-based braiding hair. Despite braids being such an important fixture of the black beauty culture, for many in the Black community, it's hard not to associate them with pain or discomfort. Millions of Black women often experience scalp itchiness and irritation from the plastic synthetic hair often used to create their favorite protective hairstyles. Osahan Ohiaga knows this struggle all too well, having dealt with her own fair share of negative experiences with braiding hair. In fact, it's partly why she decided to launch Nori, a plant-based braiding hair supporting hair and scalp health. Made from high-quality, renewable biomaterials that are designed to look and feel like human hair, the brand's extensions serve as a healthier alternative to the majority of braiding hair on the market, including the typical Kanekalon hair that's commonly found in the beauty supply stores. Plus, Nori is not just safe for the braid wearer, it's also safer for the environment and promotes less plastic waste, which of course we can get behind. The Tees had the pleasure of connecting with Ohiaga about her revolutionary sustainable braiding hair and the positive change it's bringing to the hair extension industry. Head to thetees.com to check this article out. Plant-based hair, just when you think you've heard of everything. Is this not the coolest innovation?
It is, just like having Ben on last week, right?
Yep.
And him innovating the foils category. Innovating this category is so interesting, so genius. It's good for our clientele. It's good for the stylists. It's good for the environment. It's good for the world. So I'm excited because they are, they've just launched, but they have plans to introduce additional colors and textures and even beyond braiding to weft extensions and wigs. So huge. Yeah. Well done.
Such a fun interview. Friends of the podcast, Andis releases new retro revival style collection with international artistic team lead Kevin Lutchman. Andis company is leaning fully into nostalgia with the latest addition to its creator series. Beloved barbering brand recently introduced its retro revival collection with international artistic lead Kevin Lutchman at BarberCon in Dallas, Texas, to much fanfare. Consisting of 6 unique cuts, this collection not only features styles that are modeled on multiple genders, his looks, which took 6 months of planning, showcase both his incredible skills as well as the elite-level performance of Andis products. For Lutchman, creating this collection was an opportunity to drive innovation in the styling sphere and demonstrate the versatility of Andis's cordless lineup of clippers, trimmers, shavers, and accessories. Head to the Tees to learn more about the collection and to see the looks. Kevin Lutchman, friend of the pod, he's been on this very podcast with you. Very charming. Incredibly talented, as we all know. Do you have a favorite look from this collection?
I do. And it's the 90s retro rise. Full stop. I love it. Yes. I mean, a tapered fade. I'm kind of wishing that my boys would fall into this trend because they're into the mullety, rough thing on the top mop. And I want them to go back to this iconic trend of the 90s.
Well, if only. But there is something that I'm going to ask you about with this next story, which is a surprising return trend. And so let's just get into it. That article is called The Classic 80s Rat Tail is Back with a Modern Twist, and hairstylist Andrew Zumbo has expert tips on how to style it. There's no easy way to say this, but it appears that we may be in the midst of a rat tail renaissance. Blame It on the Weekend, star of the ill-fated Idol. The haircut has seen quite a rise in popularity. In fact, since that show's airing, the rat tail hashtag has completely blown up over on TikTok, amassing over 48 million views and counting. While there's no denying that the rat tail is easily one of the most divisive haircuts of all time, aside from the mullet, which we know everybody's got, the latest rendition of this hairstyle is much cooler than the throwback look you might remember from the 80s and 90s. With the rat tail back on trend, the Tees tapped Andrew Zumbo, American Crew brand ambassador and hairstylist, to share his insights on the haircut. Head to thetees.com for tips, tricks, and helpful recommendations about styling. So my question, I mean, you literally just talked about, you wish that your boys would. Would you wish this on them? Is this a look that you could co-sign?
Mean, it depends on how on point they want to be trend-wise. And, in reading this article, what never dawned on me is that you can customize the length and to fit your needs. And there are ones that have 2 tails, 1 tail, short tail, curly tail. And so I don't know. It's a lot for me to take in.
It's so much.
And to think about.
Such memories from the late 80s and early 90s of just like really meaty rat tails.
Oh my gosh. Can we get a photo of that? Like
no, not for me. My
okay, great.
I was on others, like formative seeing it and probably wanting it, but my parents knowing my curly hair didn't make sense to do that. I don't know. But it leaves me wondering, should I grow a rat tail? That's
Maybe just a baby tail. Just start
teeny
a
tiny with like a bead or two, something like that.
that would be still my heart. I couldn't handle it.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Maybe Halloween. As always, so much going on over at thetease.com. Thank you to our hardworking editors. We're proud to publish stories that salon pros and consumers care about.
Also, be sure to hit subscribe, rate, and review, and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok at Read the Tease, and send in questions to volumeup@thetease.com.
Volume Up is a Tease Media production. This episode was produced by Monica Hickey and Madeline Hickey. Brian Daly is our editor and audio engineer. Thank you to Josh Landowski and Nathan Folks for the custom Volume Up theme song. And thank you to our creative team for putting together the graphics for this episode.